So according to studies, there's one food that raises testosterone levels by 52% and gives an increase of 78% in overall sexual health. Can you guess what it is? Probably not, because I had never heard of this food before until maybe a couple of years ago. And once I heard about it, I knew I had to get word out about this food because it's so easy to just start eating this one food and basically reclaim your masculinity and get your energy back and raise your libido and start putting on muscle again and start burning stubborn fat again. And so if you're struggling to burn fat and build muscle, there's a couple foods, healthy foods, that you need to cut out of your diet immediately, because I've been eating healthy for years and I was eating these foods that people say are healthy but was actually killing my body's number one fat burning muscle building hormone. And when I stopped eating these, my results went through the roof. And since I've been telling my clients and even my family, my friends about this, I've had guys getting in amazing shape that swore that age and genetics were keeping them from being in amazing shape, and all they did was cut out these foods. So I got a quick question for you. What's more effective for losing weight? Eating less or working out more? Now, what if I told you neither? And yes, I was a little skeptical of this as well, but just seeing how many people have tried to either cut their calories or go to the gym more and still fail at losing weight is insane. Because too many people are trying these same methods yet failing and just blaming it on themselves or blaming it on aging or blaming it on genetics, and they don't know the truth, because 2 billion people worldwide are suffering from this. And so it's not their fault and it's not your fault either. You see, when you reduce your calories, your weight loss, yes, usually follows, but the truth is this is almost impossible to maintain because the body is lacking the proper nutrients that it needs to continue fueling that fat burn, and the body ends up going into what is known as starvation mode. And starvation mode is when your leptin levels plummet and your metabolism basically stops and you hit a wall and you can't lose any more weight and you end up gaining your weight back. And so what do you do about this? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Just eat enough of the right foods. I'm sure you've heard that before, but instead of just going and eating healthy and starting to have more salads and whatever you usually do when you think you're eating healthy, you need to start eating foods that have an insanely high thermic effect. And thermic effect is just a fancy way of saying foods that burn calories as you eat them. So it's not lettuce and kale. It's very specific foods that can be found in pretty much any store. And you start eating these foods and they create heat in your body and you burn calories without having to go to the gym more or without having to starve yourself. But up until now, nobody has really taken advantage of this. And I mean, nobody. And that's finally changing, thank gosh, because now you can make the most of it, because I've gone out of my way and I've basically figured out which foods, or I've discovered and I've done my research on which foods have the highest thermic effect, which foods will burn fat the fastest. And these foods are backed by studies from places like Harvard University, big major universities that show that once you start eating foods with a high thermic effect, you can actually start losing weight. And these are the exact same foods that I've recommended to my clients all around the world and helped them lose 5, 10, 15, 50, even 100 pounds without having to starve themselves or go live on the treadmill, even when really nothing else worked. And so if you're struggling with losing weight, I made a free video presentation that shows you what foods these are and the best one that you need to start adding, because there's actually 3 that I talk about in this video. It's right below. But if you're going to add just one of them, I highly recommend adding the 3rd one, because the 3rd one is really the nuclear bomb for weight loss. And it's the reason I've been able to help so many people get in shape. So if you're struggling with getting in shape, I highly recommend giving this a shot, even if you don't believe me right now, because I guarantee after you watch this video, you'll thank yourself for making this whole thing a lot easier. So if you're trying to check it out right now, or even if you're not, just give it a shot. Hit that link below and start adding this one food to your diet, and let's get you on the right path to your dream body.